I've only got tea, but we can cheers with it still.
Cheers!
Cheers! Hello and welcome to episode 11 of the Ravishing podcast. We're talking through Jilly Cooper's Rutshire Chronicles in order, one section at a time. We'll discuss the chaos, the drama, the sex and everything else that gets thrown in along the way. Just to clarify, we're not professionals or journalists, we just love the books, the Rutshire world Jilly has created and love talking about them. You may already know the books well, you may never have read them and only heard about Jilly Cooper through the recent fabulous TV series Rivals on Disney+. Everyone is welcome here. I'm Lib, I'm relatively new to these books, and my mum Jan has known them for years.
For those newcomers who've only seen the new TV show, Riders is the first in the 11-book series and where we first meet Rupert Campbell Black. Rivals is the second book and we'll be moving on to that one soon. Each episode we'll talk through some of the key things that happen in the books. We'll also let you know which chapters we'll be covering, so if you haven't already read the books you can read them alongside for the full experience. We really recommend you do, because if you don't, we can guarantee you'll be missing out on loads of Jilly's humour, storytelling and juicy details, because we're only skimming through some of the key bits on here. We're here to analyse or maybe overanalyse with opinions, tangents and probably a lot of judgment, because these books deserve to be talked about. There will be swearing and there will be mentions of sex, because this is Jilly Cooper, and if we had to cut out the rude bits there'd be nothing left to talk about. Today we'll be covering chapters 29 to 32, so if you're reading the books alongside, make sure you've read those chapters first. Before we get into it, how are you?
I'm good. We're doing a bit of an earlier start than we usually do. We usually record our episodes in the afternoon, but we're recording in the morning today. It's about 10:30. So we've got tea. Are you feeling fresh and ready to go?
Oh yeah, I'm all fired up and ready. Cranked up.
So last episode, Helen finally found out about Rupert's cheating, or maybe stopped being able to deny it. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
But somehow they made up again, and now they're expecting another baby. And we also talked about Billy's new marriage to Janey, and after that amazing first year that they had, that it was looking like maybe things were starting to go sour a little bit, or go downhill. So we're going to get more into that this episode. Billy and Janey have moved out of Penscombe into their own place, moving into their first new home together. First home for Billy away from Rupert.
Yes, it is, isn't it? It's the first time.
And it's kind of independence for him and a new start for them together as a couple, which should be quite exciting, really, shouldn't it? When did you first have your own place?
Oh, I was probably about 23.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was exciting, really exciting, but terrifying. Because he's got so much responsibility suddenly, haven't you? You're living at home and it's all wonderful and marvellous, and then suddenly you've got mortgages and electricity bills. And,
it's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still exciting, but yeah, it's a big wake-up call.
Yeah, I even felt like that moving into my new place, because obviously, I mean, I'm 25, so moved in at 25, but I left home at 18 for uni. But uni's it's so different. You kind of get to practice living on your own, but you don't have to have any of the responsibility at all, do you?
No, and you're not kind of having to earn the money, and you're living with friends, and it's all like, exciting.
And then when I was travelling, it was just week to week. So it's like, I should be so used to living away from home, but I feel like I hadn't actually done it before, and it was like a whole scary thing, but I love it now.
Well, this is real, it's kind of permanence, isn't it? Whereas at uni, you knew it was for a year, and then you might move out, and you might live with different people, or...
This is the first time, hopefully, since I left home, that I'm going to live somewhere for longer than a year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Isn't
true.
That crazy? What's that?
Well,
7 years not living anywhere longer than a year.
It's not even a year at uni, though, is it? Because you sort of arrive there in September and you leave in the May.
Yeah.
So it's not even a year.
No. A lot of moving about. Yep. Done with it. So Janey has left her glamorous journalist lifestyle in London. She's left it all behind, and now she's desperate to have a baby. She's at home most of the time. She's writing that book, if you remember. Or shall we say, she's not writing that book.
No, because she's not
doing any work at all. Based on what we know so far about Janey, that she likes to be looked after. She's used to being taken out, living this glamorous lifestyle. And now she's looking for a man to take care of her. How do we feel about where this situation might now be going? Now that, because the first year of their marriage was kind of like not real, was it?
Yeah, you're in a bit of an alternative universe, aren't you, doing all that travelling? Yeah, but now it's real, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, when she was working as a journalist, there were hints that she kind of needed that discipline. She was always sort of last minute with her deadlines.
Yeah.
And suddenly she's got this advance to write the book, but there's nothing pushing her to actually do it.
No.
So I worry about that. And then, obviously, like you say, she's given up this glamorous lifestyle and moved to the country. I mean, It's not as if she's given up the glamorous lifestyle and just moved a little bit further out of town. She's moved to the countryside. So, you know, with all that going on, needing the discipline, moving completely away, I'm not convinced she's going to cope.
No, and she's convinced that she's got the money from this book, but it comes in like 3 parts. It was like a third now, a third when you finish it, and a third when it gets published.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, I've got all this money, like I've got 120 grand for this book, but like she actually hasn't.
No.
She's not seeing any of that money because she's not actually working on it.
No.
So I feel like the money is going to become a big issue, isn't it?
I think it will, definitely.
So, and she's used to earning good money, but now that she's married to Billy, she's just kind of expects him to take care of her all the time. And she seems to have sort of given up on the work ethic a little bit, hasn't she?
Yeah, which surprises me, really. She's this kind of, how old is she? 29?
29.
She's kind of like this feisty, independent journalist.
Yeah.
And suddenly wants to give everything up and have a baby and live in the country. And
I think
do you think it's a pipe dream she's got?
Yeah, I think it's more of like a fantasy. She's like, oh yeah, this would be like so much fun. And then in reality, she doesn't actually want that life. She just thinks that she wants it. Yeah, and Billy having to pay for the bills for the first time in his life, he's having a bit of a rude awakening as well, isn't he? How do we think that that's going to affect him? Will he be able to step up, be responsible, handle all of these bills himself?
I'm not sure he knows how to.
No.
Because he's gone from living, boarding school and parents to living with Billy. I don't think he's got any idea.
No.
At all.
I don't think he's really built for the real world at all, is he?
Billy.
He's always been looked after by Rupert.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of... Yeah, he's not ready to be out in the big wide world on his own, even though he's in his late 20s at least by now.
And if he had a different kind of woman with him, it might have worked out a little better, but Janey's as completely unprepared as he is, so...
And he kind of, he needs picking up and supporting. He's that kind of person, instead of somebody who's going to say, you need to go out and do this for me. And I think that's kind of what Janey's doing, and I don't think... it's the best way to deal with him, is it?
No.
And Janey's not at all proven herself to be a good little housewife like she said she wanted to be. She's not very organised, she's quite messy, and she clearly thinks that they're rich. They're completely rich. And the way that she's living her life, she's just spending way more money than they actually have. She just doesn't seem to realise, and she's only making the situation worse. And whenever Billy tries to talk to her about money, she's just like, oh, go and ask your mum, or like, go and ask your sponsor for more money, like, we'll be fine. Did we really expect her to do anything different? I don't know.
I didn't expect her to be completely responsible, but I didn't also expect her to be so irresponsible, if you like, not looking at the bills as they come in. I mean, she just frustrates me so much. I mean, when I read a book or watch a film about someone being really frivolous with money or living in such a tip and, trying to spend their way out of a crisis, it makes me feel really uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I mean, boring me, yeah, okay. But it does. And you just want to say, oh, come on, see what's happening here.
Yeah.
So no.
No. And are we kind of seeing a little hint that things might be starting to go quite seriously wrong here?
There's the potential, isn't there? Yeah, because she's not going to kind of suddenly turn responsible. And Billy doesn't sound like the kind of person to lay the law down.
They're both being themselves and it's not working.
No.
And are either of them going to be able to change up that much?
I mean,
Probably
like you
not.
say, Billy is as bad, but although he
we
at
love
least
him.
we do, yeah. At least he realises they're in a mess.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really know how to change the situation. No. I mean, he'll see the bills and he'll tell her, oh, you know, we shouldn't be spending so much. But that's about as far as it goes, isn't it?
But also, there's no getting through to someone who just doesn't care.
No.
Is there? And if he's saying we need to stop spending so much money, and she's like, I don't care. What do you say to that? Like, she's not his kid. He doesn't need to teach her this lesson, you know? She needs to learn for herself. Maybe she will. Her biggest issue right now, all she's really cared about, is getting pregnant. She just wants a baby. And Helen has had her new baby girl, Tabitha, and it's just making Janey even more desperate for a baby and even more jealous of Helen. So let's switch up for a moment. We talk about Helen and Rupert's new baby, something which we'll probably touch on more later. Do we think that that's going to be good for their relationship? I mean, obviously the first baby didn't seem to help that much. Will a second one? I mean, they were supposed to be turning things around and everything, but I feel like getting pregnant straight away hasn't really helped in the turning things around, because Helen's just going to go into obsessing about pregnancy mode again, isn't she?
But will she, though? I mean, we're hoping Rupert will be different, because dads always tend to have a big soft spot for daughters. But it's also Helen's second child. Yeah. So she might not be, she's got a lot of experience behind her now. Yeah. She might not be as nervous and anxious as she was before.
Hopefully.
And if Tabitha hasn't got the health issues that Marcus has, you never know. It
could be a lot better.
Could be.
And do we think that Rupert's going to be a better father to a girl than a boy?
It depends. It depends what the girl's like, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I guess from him there was a certain amount of expectation on Marcus to be exactly like him, whereas there's not the same expectation with a girl, so he might be less hard on her.
Potentially. Although, I suppose it used to irritate him how kind of, what's the word? Not clingy, but how Helen was with Marcus and how anxious she was. That didn't play well for Rupert, did it? No. And I suppose in a way it might not have given him much chance to get in there. Who knows? We didn't get all the details, did we? So,
no. Well, Janey is having a hard time getting pregnant. And let's talk about that. So when you hear Janey's having a hard time getting pregnant, immediately, what do you think?
Well, you kind of immediately think, all that drinking and smoking and that crazy lifestyle, it's not going to help for either of them. Yeah. That's your immediate thought,
That's the immediate
isn't it?
thought.
Yeah.
And we're going to stop at immediate thoughts because we will talk about this more later.
Okay.
But that is the first thing that you think, isn't it? It's like, well, she smokes a lot. She's not being very healthy. That's not a good sign, is it?
No.
Okay. We'll come back to this point later. It's now the run-up to the World Championships, and there's a big show in the Midlands which will help decide which 6 British riders will go to the World Championships. And this is a big deal for Billy and a big deal for his sponsor, who we haven't really talked about properly yet. Kev Coley is his sponsor. And Kev's business is based in the Midlands, so this is a big thing. All of his clients are going to be coming to this show. Billy's expected to entertain his clients and bring his beautiful, famous wife, and they're going to dazzle Kev's clients. And it's an important thing for Kev and important for Billy for keeping Kev's sponsorship and his support. Yep. And this kind of adds a new element to show jumping that we haven't really talked about so far, because this whole concept of sponsors is like a new thing, isn't it? And it's a new level of stress for them. And
there's expectations attached to the money that you receive, isn't there? And he won't have been used to that because Rupert never had to do it. So I think it's probably a big adjustment. And when they're not very good with responsibilities,
So at this point, Billy, his drinking has not slowed down, and it's starting to become less fun and a little bit more sad, isn't it?
Yeah, the whole story's turning sad, isn't it? I remember at the beginning of the book there was loads of giggles and fun, and now it's all like, oh, everybody's growing up and there's all these responsibilities and it's not going well.
It is all starting to get a bit sad, isn't it? And yeah, Billy's drinking, it's turning into a coping mechanism. He's got all these money troubles, this pressure to win, and as we know, he doesn't do very well under pressure, and Janey's not helping. Is it Janey's job to be that support for him? Obviously, as a partner, you support your partner. And you try and do what they need. And obviously, I guess we're using kind of Helen as a mould here. And she threw herself 100% into Rupert's career.
But they're different women, aren't they? I mean, Helen never really had a job.
No.
She kind of played around with things. But as soon as Rupert said, come and live with me, she jumped. And Janey's had a successful career. She's famous. So she isn't expected to give it up, but she could definitely be more supportive. Yeah. You know, she would bring in the crowds. She's famous. Yeah. You know, why not turn up every now and again?
Yeah. But, I think if she had thrown herself into it, it could be like this could all turn out so much better. But I think she'd have a lot of fun sitting in the rider's stand and
and chatting. She's good at chatting to people.
She'd probably be on TV all the time and stuff like that. And it could actually be something that she would really enjoy. But she's just not throwing herself into it, is she?
No.
Let's talk about, about pink jobs and blue jobs.
Oh, yes.
How you divide the housework at home. So the pink jobs are like the girl jobs and the blue jobs are the boy jobs. Yeah. What's a pink job and a blue job?
Well, you see, all the jobs I don't like are blue jobs.
The bins. Bins is a blue job.
Oh,
I do not do bins.
Well, I don't like cooking. So that's definitely a blue job. And I'm not very keen on gardening, so that's definitely a blue job. So it's anything
What do you do?
What do I do? I do the laundry.
You do. That's a pink job, I feel.
Yeah, I do all the most of the food shopping and the meal planning, even though I don't cook it. I do lots of. What do you mean? I do lots of pink jobs.
I don't like the whole pink job and blue job thing.
No, I just think it's a funny joke to say if there's something you don't like to do, oh, that's your job because that's a blue one.
Yeah. Pretty much for me, the bins is a blue job, and then I kind of do everything else.
Well, Cam's got an easy ride.
I know. Well, to be fair, I don't tend to let him near the laundry. I like to do that myself because I'm quite particular. I like everything to smell really nice. Yeah,
I quite like doing laundry. I quite like doing ironing.
Oh, you see, I don't have an iron or an ironing board.
Oh, no. What? I love that. You put on a podcast or something and do the ironing. It's brilliant. I might sort of leave it to pile up for 2 or 3 weeks, but, then do it all in one go. I love that.
I find it really satisfying to just kind of do the washing and then everything comes out so nice.
Yeah,
and like, those adverts where women are like sniffing the washing and they're like, oh...
I've definitely...
And you're like, nobody does that. But like, no, I do that.
I do that. And sometimes, I've been taking clothes when in the summer and you sort of taking the clothes off the washing line. And I found myself just standing there holding whatever's in my hand and having a sniff because it's so nice. And then I realise it's a pair of Dad's boxers. I think, oh no, I hope nobody's looking. They might think that's weird.
Do you know what that reminds me of? So do you know, right, when you can't quite tell if your washing's dry or if it's just cold? Because you know that we actually can't sense like wetness, supposedly.
Oh, no, I heard that one.
I heard this. I don't know how true it is, but yeah, supposedly. So it's hard to tell if your stuff's cold or if it's wet.
It's just like damp, yeah.
Yeah, so I've found a way of testing, which is to just like use my lips.
Oh, right.
Because then I feel like I can sense if they're wet better than if I'm using my fingers.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it. I'm like, that feels a bit. And then I just touch it to my lips. I'm like, no, it was just cold. That's okay. Yeah. But the thing most often that is hard to tell with is Cam's pants. So I'm like, if somebody walked in right now, they would see me with Cam's pants in my mouth.
That's even worse than having a sniff.
They're clean.
Of course. Oh dear.
Right. Enough of that. Moving swiftly on. We're sensing Billy slipping into a bit of a decline here, aren't we? And what do you think could actually help him in this moment long term? Because obviously in this moment, what could help him would be for Janey to do the things that he kind of feels that she should do, this background work that's not being done. But long term, is that actually the solution, or is there some other kind of solution?
I mean, they need organisation and structure, don't they? And I can't help thinking, if they hired a secretary or something like Rupert has with this sponsorship money, I mean, yes, it would be outgoings, but she'd be able to do all of the stuff, maybe even add extra duties in there so she gets all these riding stuff ready and all the things that Janey doesn't want to do. Get somebody to do that. And then Janey might be happier. She might focus more or do whatever. And Billy's always going to be ready for whatever his next rides are. And then she's just got to try and stop him drinking so much.
No, I think you're right, because obviously in this moment you're like, well, we've got money trouble, so we're not hiring a secretary. But I think you're right, because part of the issue is that all of this that's going on is stressing Billy out, so he's not doing very well in competitions, and sometimes he's not even been entered in them properly. So he can't even compete.
Because they've not done things on time. And he sees the bills coming in, doesn't know how to handle it, and has a whinge to Janey who does nothing about it. And then, let's just carry on as normal.
So I think if they did have that kind of support, he would be a bit more relaxed, and then he would perform better, and he would actually be bringing quite a lot of money in, and then I think it would be okay.
Do you know, I'm quite surprised that Rupert hasn't noticed.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was anybody else, I would imagine Rupert, no, he's not bothered. But it's Billy. And he can see Billy's drinking a lot. He can see that he's not performing as well. He must be able to see he's under some kind of stress.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's not kind of stepped in with some advice or some help or...
Well, I guess maybe Rupert's trying to let him sort himself out.
Unless he wants them to fail.
Well, it's possible, isn't it? And we've also got to remember he's got a new baby.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Liv.
Okay, I do. Fair enough. Yeah, maybe he does, because he doesn't... I mean, he might get on with Janey, but I think he knows that she's not really
She's not a Helen, is she? She's not going to be that background support. She's definitely not a Tory.
If you looked at Billy kind of at the start of the book, would you... And you said, the perfect woman for him would be like this. Would you describe Janey?
No.
No.
Maybe half of Janey.
Yeah.
And half of somebody not quite as irritating as Helen. You know, that would have been a nice balance, wouldn't it?
But it wouldn't have been this kind of thing, would it?
No.
So, this big show in the Midlands that's a big deal for Billy and the sponsorship and everything. It's over kind of a week. I think it's probably like Thursday to Sunday or something like that. And Janey is like, well, I'm not coming for every day. I'm far, far too busy. So she only turns up for the last day. She has made her and Billy late. She hasn't made a good impression on everyone. She's not even bothered to dress up for the occasion. And we find out during the show that she isn't pregnant once again. She thought she might have been, but she found out another month. She's got her period, she's not pregnant, and that's done absolutely nothing to improve her mood. And how do you feel for her in this moment? Because, like, it's such a difficult situation to be in, isn't it?
Well, it is, but, I mean, I've got no sympathy for her turning up so late.
Late is not something that we can get on board with. We do not like lateness.
No.
I've always said on time is late.
Well, yeah, that's always a good motto. Yeah, but I mean, she's not only did she turn up late on the one day, the last day that she said she'd turn up.
The only day she bothered to come.
Yeah, the only day she bothered to come. She turned up late, and she was grumpy even before she found out she wasn't pregnant. So, you know, she's turned up under duress of her own making, I suppose. I mean, I'm definitely felt sorry for her when she found out she wasn't pregnant. I mean, that, you know, that can be devastating.
Yeah.
But also, can you imagine how chaotic their life would be if they added a baby into the mix?
Yeah.
Are they ready for it right now?
No. I think Janey's convinced herself that when she has a baby, she'll be so happy and everything will be easy. And she'll slip right into this mother, housewife role. But she thought that when she moved out to the country as well, didn't she? And nothing changed.
Do you think this is her personality trait? She's working hard. Oh, but it would be fantastic if I got this big deal to do all these interviews on people.
Yeah.
And then I got that. And, oh, no, maybe it would be fantastic if I could move out to the country and get a book deal. Oh, I've got that. Oh, it's not turned out quite how well. Oh, wouldn't it be good now if I could have a baby? Maybe that's how her life is.
Yeah, I think you're right.
We've only seen this brief bit, but maybe before that she was like that.
Probably was. I think it's that kind of, you have like a fantasy of this type of life and you're like, oh, that would be so much fun. Let's do that. And then you do it and you realise that there's always
reality, isn't there? Yeah.
But I do feel for her because, I mean, even now, women's fertility and women's health is just it's so criminally misunderstood. I can imagine in the late 70s it would have been so much worse.
Oh, yeah. I mean, now there's kind of support and places you can go and talk to people.
Not as much as there should be, but
but there's help. Better. It's understood as an issue, and it's not just never mind, just carry on trying. It's a mental health issue as much as anything else, and that's kind of more understood these days. But
it gives me just a little bit of sympathy for her because I don't like the way that she's acting. I don't agree with what she's doing, but I can understand how this would be affecting her mentally as well. And I even just a little bit, I do sympathise.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the fact we all think it's really not the right stage for them to have a baby, there is always that kind of, am I pregnant? Am I not? Oh no! Oh, we'll try again. And it's like a roller coaster of emotion, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's a difficult one, alongside all the regular hormones of being a woman and waiting for your period, and you think that it's not going to come, and then it does, and it's just a whole thing. And I feel for her in this situation. And she's sinking into a bit of a depression over these fertility issues, and that means that everything else is getting worse as well. And really it is hard to watch or hard to read. Isn't it?
Definitely hard to read.
Because obviously we love Billy and we want what's best for him, and this isn't what's best for him. And just seeing them both kind of just go downhill like this, it's not what anyone wants to see, is it?
No.
And what do we think is kind of the real issue? Because they're both so unhappy. Is it the money? Is it the fertility? Or are they just actually wrong for each other?
Maybe they're too similar in many ways. And like we've said, neither of them are good at responsibility or organisation.
Yeah.
So
they're both a bit fanciful, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're kind of trying to struggle in this real world that they've suddenly found themselves in, and it is sad to watch, and also sad to see they've got no support. Like I was saying about Rupert, and God forbid Helen were to able to give any advice. Can you imagine how that would go down there? But they don't seem to have that kind of. His family, his mum, they're very wealthy, but he's not going to ask them for money because he'll feel like a failure.
He doesn't want to do that, does he?
So I do feel for them. But you also want Rupert to come in and take charge and say, right, what you need to do is this and this and this. And Billy would listen to that, whether
you kind of
Janey
do
would.
Want him to come in, but then you're also like, you want Billy to be able to figure it out for himself as well. And like, he's been looked after Rupert all his life, and this was supposed to be his chance to do his own thing. And then we're just waiting for Rupert to just step back in when it turns out that he can't do it.
He can't. No.
What do we kind of want to happen in this situation? Do we want things to just get better and it be okay? Or do we want stuff to keep going downhill to the point where they split up and they can just go back to their own lives?
I think if things were to get better, it would require a complete personality change from both of them, and then they might not like each other anymore.
I think you're right.
I think splitting up might be the best thing.
Yeah.
Neither of them are responsible enough to turn the situation around for both of them.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going with that. And just on a little side note here, I was reading something about Jilly in an interview, and when she was asked which of her characters she'd marry, I can't remember which one she said she'd marry, but she says that she and Billy would have collapsed in a sea of alcohol together. So you can see why she's probably written him like this. She's probably, we're in despair and shouting at the book, saying, and Jilly's having a right laugh, writing all this stuff.
We did say maybe Janey's a little bit like Jilly, didn't we? Because Jilly was a journalist.
Oh, potentially. And I don't think Jilly's that irresponsible.
No, but I think maybe she's kind of used herself as a bit of an influence for this character. Could she's be. Saying that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, as if you're interested in what she said about Rupert, she said he'd be impossible to keep happy.
He would. Right, so the show, all of this drama has happened. We're back to sort of normal life, trucking along. Billy is abroad competing again, and Janey's got the house to herself. She's eating her feelings. Sometimes she's drinking her feelings. Every day she's drinking her feelings. And every room that she starts working in, she just turns into an absolute tip. So then she just moves on to the next one when it gets too much, and she just starts the whole process again. And it's just, she's just not... She's not helping herself necessarily, is she? And I'm just thinking about the mess of this house, and I can't do it. I mean, when I'm kind of working away, I do get a bit messy. That's like my sort of creative process. There's stuff everywhere, but then when I'm finished, I like to tidy it all up.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. I mean, my desk gets a real mess. When I'm sewing, everywhere's a mess, and I just throw sort of scraps and things on the floor, and then I have a tidy up at the end. And cooking, Dad hates Dad. That's another reason why I don't cook that often. Dad hates it when I cook. He says I use every pan and utensil in the kitchen. She does make a mess. And I don't tidy up as I go along. I like to do it at the end when I know it's safely in the oven. But
so Janey's in this kind of depression slightly, and everywhere's a tip, and Kev, who is Billy's sponsor, knocks on the door. Billy's asked Kev to check on Janey and make sure that she's doing okay. So he comes in and he gives her a little bit of a pep talk. So let's talk a little bit about Kev now and how he looks. I imagine this kind of like fake tanned businessman type. He's obsessed with fitness and he's healthy eating. He wants to look good. He's quite happy with the way like his body is and all of that stuff. And I see like slicked back hair, hairy chest poking up the top of the shirt. He always wears too much aftershave. I feel like you know what kind of man he is, don't you?
You see, I see that, except for the slicked back hair.
Okay.
I'll show you who I think. To me, when I think of him, I always think of a young Paul Nicholas.
Okay.
You probably don't even know who he is.
No. Oh, right. So that's like curly, kind of shaggy hair.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
But trim, looks after himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it, but that's not what I see. I see that kind of greasy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
I think he's probably objectively quite handsome in his own kind of way. That appeals to some women and it doesn't appeal to others. Do we think that he's going to be able to help her? That this kind of... I mean, he's a smart, successful businessman. Maybe he can actually give her some advice. Do we think he's going to be able to help?
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you? But this is Jilly.
Yeah.
Where would be the fun in that?
Yep. So he gives Janey this pep talk, and basically he just tells her to step the fuck up. Mm-hmm. He says, you're not doing a good job at supporting Billy, you're not looking after yourself.
Oh, that'll all work.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe, I mean, it's pretty archaic. I don't like what he's saying, but also maybe this is the kick up the arse that Janey needs. Maybe she's going to respond to it. What do you think?
Well, she does need some kind of a pep talk, absolutely. But she's lived such a chaotic lifestyle to this point. She's 29. It's hard to change. And definitely if somebody says to you, no, you need to step up your game, you need to do this. You know, looking at it, we know what we would want to say, but I don't think it'd be effective.
What do you think that you would say to her?
Well, I'd want to talk to her about why she's got this passion for writing, and suddenly she's not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
It's not working. What's going on there?
Yeah.
What can we do? Is there something that to get your sort of creative spark back? Do you need to go somewhere? Do you need to try something different?
Yeah.
But the answer isn't to drink more alcohol and eat more food, is it?
It's not. I think she needs a kind of direction and like a driving force in her life, doesn't she? And obviously, living in London, it was survival, wasn't it? Because she was on her own, sort of fending for herself in a way, obviously looked after by her parents. But now that she's with Billy and she's got this nice big house, I don't think she feels that kind of drive anymore. But then she's lost her purpose a little bit as well, because she's not having to work to make money.
Well, she should.
She should. But she feels like she doesn't have to. And I think having a bit of direction other than having a baby and obsessing over getting pregnant, having some other kind of interest.
Yeah, because she doesn't
help.
really do anything else, does she? I mean, when she was in London, she was kind of in the midst of it all, wasn't she? She may not have had loads of friends as in the business as such, but she had lots of contacts and she would meet up with people. So you've got that kind of creative energy going on and that kind of inclusion in things. Now she hasn't got any of that. Yeah. She's spiralling a bit, isn't she?
I think we would both want to be quite gentle with her, but really, I think she does need a kick up the arse.
She does, but is what Kev's saying the right kick up the arse?
Because it's very easy to just get angry with him for what he is saying, isn't it? So she's a little bit drunk for this conversation, and Kev's like, look, we'll talk about this tomorrow when you're sober. I'll take you out to eat. So although Janey is really annoyed with Kev and the way he's kind of swept in and said, I'm going to take control of this situation, it doesn't stop her shaving herself entirely from the eyebrows down, painting her nails, cleaning the whole house, especially the bedroom. I mean, what the hell? Where did this come from? Why does she do this?
I don't think she necessarily likes him in that way, does she?
I don't know.
After that conversation. Maybe she just sees it, this is her way of pulling herself together. That's what she's always done.
Yeah.
And
I guess it's like muscle memory in a way.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to do, and I'll show him. Not necessarily for him, but show him.
Yeah.
That, I'm not just a slob.
I'm still the old Janey.
Yeah.
Type thing. Yeah. I don't know, what do you think could happen? He didn't ask her out on a date, but she's kind of acting like it is a date. Yeah,
and he didn't take advantage of her when she was drunk, so that's got to be a plus.
The bar is low.
It is. But I mean, if he says, I'm going to take you out for dinner, I suppose she's immediately going to start thinking, oh, but then she's married.
Yeah. I think she is kind of going back to her old ways in a sense. It's just like reflex, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, before we find out what happens on this date, or not date, whatever you want to call it, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
But we'll do the ravishing quote quiz first.
Oh, go on then.
Okay, so this one we're talking about Kev. I want to know who said it, okay? So this is about Kev. I bet he streaks his chest hair.
Oh.
Who do you think said that? Streak as in like gets
dyeing,
highlights, dyes
highlights,
it. Yeah. Throw out some options and then we'll take a quick break.
Well, does Billy know about things like that?
I don't know.
Does he know about a hair dye? I don't know. He's in his own little Billy world, isn't he? I don't think Helen would come out with something like that.
No. Seems like a Rupert-y sort of
Rupert or Janey, yeah. Maybe something
hard to tell the difference between the two.
Well, it is, yeah.
Well, we'll tell you the answer after the break.
Okie-doke.
Welcome back. So, the answer to the quiz. So, we're talking about Kev here, and I want to know who said this. I bet he streaks his chest hair. Who do we think?
Well, I'm thinking Rupert or Janey, but
okay.
I
toss a coin.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Janey.
And you would be right.
Oh, yes. That could have gone either way, that one.
What a funny thought as well, that he's just that kind of like vain man, that he would even dye his chest hair. I could see it happening as well, to be honest with you.
Maybe he does.
So, Janey and Kev's date or not date.
Yes.
She's waiting for him to pick her up, and she can't help but feel as nervous as she did before her first date with Billy.
You see, that's not right, is it?
It's not right.
No.
It's absolutely not right.
I mean, nervous, yes, because she's going out to dinner with Billy's sponsor and she doesn't want to do anything that might undermine that. But to compare it with a date with Billy...
Yeah.
Nah.
It doesn't feel fair,
No,
does
it doesn't feel right.
This isn't, for me, going in the direction that I want it to go in at all. I'm kind of like screaming at the book, being like, don't do this. I can see where this is going already. And you know that in Jilly Cooperland, everyone has affairs. But I was like, don't cheat on Billy, anyone but Billy.
No. I absolutely agree. I don't know why Jilly's doing this. I just keep thinking, why Jilly? I mean, she really loves Billy. And so does Jilly. And I'm okay with lots of cheating going on, but not this.
Yeah.
No, Billy doesn't deserve this.
And I didn't expect this really at all.
No.
Like, we would talk about how Janie's not right for him, but I didn't think that she would maybe do something like this.
If everything had fallen apart, maybe, but it's not. I mean, Billy loves her.
Yeah. So Kev turns up, and it's clear that he feels like it's a date as well. And they go out for dinner and they go dancing afterwards, which just seems so much fun. I wish people still did that. And he's driving her home, and she says to him, "You'll be the first man since Billy." And that, you know, the confirmation if confirmation were needed, isn't it? And I don't think we got very much build up to this moment at all. It was just kind of got 0 to 100 straight away, wasn't it? And it's like, so they've been out for dinner and nothing was really said. They were both kind of excited. And then all of a sudden they're going home to have sex. And it's like, well, I wasn't prepared for this to actually happen. I mean, we thought it was going to go there, but then over the course of the day, I was like, oh, maybe it's not going to happen.
But do you think this again is Janey doing her autopilot thing?
Yeah, I think you're right.
And remember back when she went to interview Billy, and they ended up.
Yeah.
So maybe it's something she does with everyone. Maybe she feels it's expected.
She probably does.
I don't know.
Because of the way that her life has been so far, she probably does. And because it's just what she did. She's used to the kind of men who would expect that. Yeah. So she just kind of does it all the time.
I think
necessarily whether she thinks about it or not, who knows? But this, for me, it sort of does come out of nowhere. And I didn't really think that she would do that to Billy, because she seemed to be, for all their issues, so in love with him. Yeah. And she does say that she hates Kev as well.
She does. So, and I don't... But I think, again, it's that autopilot thing, isn't it?
It is. So they do the deed, and then afterwards, and we've seen this before with Jake, they have the audacity to talk about Billy. And it's just not fair, is it?
No, it's not. Absolutely. It's not.
No.
Not to talk about them, no.
And why in Jilly Cooperland does everybody do this?
Well, as we know, a lot does go on in Jilly Cooperland, and most of it I love. Against my better judgment, most of it I love because it causes great fun and drama, yeah. But not this.
Not this.
No, not Billy.
So Jilly does tell us that the whole thing made Janey feel safe, and that's what she needed. And I think that is going back to her sort of
her
old
modus
ways,
operandi,
where having this kind of wealthy man would make her feel safe. And she thought that, like, I guess Billy was like that in a way, but obviously they got married, it was slightly different, but now she's not feeling safe with him. So she's like, how do I make myself feel safe? Find a rich man and start dating him. Yeah. And that's what she's doing. And she can't help but feel as though she has to rely on a man, and Billy isn't cutting it at the minute. And I can understand why her thought process has gone that way, because it's what she's always done.
It is sad that that's how she would think, and especially when she loves Billy so much. And I mean, she's had relationships in the past and reached a point where either she's had to fight or walk away, and she's walked away.
Yeah.
So it's hard to change.
Yeah, it is hard to change. And despite me just shouting at the book, being like, stop it, no. They continue their relationship, and it really seems to be getting fairly serious. And it's also, I guess, annoyingly, having a fantastic effect on Janey. She's happier, she's healthier, she's drinking less, she's eating better, she's keeping the house tidy. And it's like...
That really upset me, because I think, well, if she can do it, why can't she do it for Billy?
Yeah, and it's like, you don't deserve to be thriving after what you've done. Is this going to last? Because it's what she did with Billy at the start of their relationship, tidying up her place for him so that he thought she lived like that all the time.
But, I mean, Kev's married. So...
It doesn't matter, does it?
You know, I don't think it would last, because he's not going to leave his wife for her.
Well, it'd be very bad for his business, wouldn't it? And do you think Billy could find out about this? He's quite oblivious to things a lot of the time.
But it's very close to home, isn't it?
What do you think?
How do you hide that?
Yeah. What do you think his reaction could be if he did find out? Do you think that he would really just want to kind of move past the whole thing, bury his head in the sand a little bit?
I mean, that might be his instinct, but
yeah. But
he wears his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he? So I don't know whether he could really cope with that.
Yeah. Especially if other people knew as well and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, whilst Janey is only getting better and better, Billy just seems to be getting worse and worse. His drinking is reaching new levels. It's affecting his performance, which means it's affecting his income and his relationship with his sponsor.
Yep.
And then we find out why he's spiralling so much right now. And it's because he went to the doctor and found out that his sperm count is practically zero.
Right. Yep.
So, and we said we were going to come back to this talk of what you think when we find out that Janey's not getting pregnant.
Yeah.
And we immediately think it's something to do with her lifestyle. But turns out Billy's lifestyle, I guess as well, because her lifestyle wasn't helping, but Billy's lifestyle
has had
a huge impact on his fertility. And we're kind of thinking that, well, this is the main reason that they're not getting pregnant. And that kind of flips things on its head a little bit, because you do instantly go to, well, what's the woman doing?
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, you kind of think, well, if people are having issues, it could be either one of them. But then, macho 70s, of course it wasn't the man, was it? It's the assumption first is always going to be it's the woman. Yeah.
It's not fair, is it?
No.
And how does this kind of make us view this situation now? I guess the word problem, the word fault, they're not good words to use in this situation.
No.
But I guess everybody's thinking Janey's and I'm using air quotes, the problem.
Yeah.
And now we see that it's actually Billy. And how does that make you view the situation? Is there a part of you that feels bad for Janey? Because she feels like she's been dealt a marked card.
I don't necessarily feel bad for her.
No.
But I feel sad for both of them. But it doesn't mean they can't have children.
No. It just means that they need to be healthier.
They need to change some key things in their lifestyle if they're really serious about it.
Yeah.
And maybe this is the point where they think, are we really serious?
Yeah. Well, when Billy tells her this news, Janey just takes it as confirmation that she's doing the right thing, sleeping with someone else. Yeah. That Billy isn't right for her at all, and she made the right choice. Running to Kev, and obviously all the money that he's throwing in her direction is helping.
That will appeal.
I don't think I can really understand. I mean, I can see for her why her thought process would go there, but obviously for me, I'm like, it's not like set in stone that this is the situation. There's things that can be done about Billy's sperm count and their fertility as a couple.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of like, well, that's it. I'm not having a baby with Billy. I need to move on.
And I think, she's already dismissed Billy in her mind, and she's just waiting for Kev to rescue her now. But again, it's that Janey thing, isn't it? It's all too hard. I'll move on to something else. Yeah. I can't deal with that.
When things get real, walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because I bet she's really fun.
Do you know, if she wasn't if she wasn't like this, she would be so much fun, wouldn't she? And
yeah.
when she's on form, everyone's like, she's fantastic company. Yeah, I would love to see her be like that more. Because obviously now that she's started seeing Kev, she's so happy and looking after herself and looking fantastic, great company. You just want to see that more often because you know that it's possible.
Yeah, I think it seems like she values herself through other people. It's like she has, if I can't have this with Billy, I'm going to have this with Kev, rather than what do I want? What am I going to do about me or whatever? It's like she has to latch on to somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's
sad.
It is sad for her, yeah.
Well, this affair with Kev is only getting more serious, and Billy comes home from another trip a bit earlier than planned because he's had to put down one of his horses. His drinking is affecting his performance. It's all so sad, and he's in a bad way. And he tries to talk to Janey about money, and all she does is just mock him for being a failure. And it's just not obviously what he needs, is it? He needs to be lifted up and supported. And as she's doing this, then the phone rings and it's Malise, and he's saying, look, Billy, you've been dropped from the British team. You're not going to the World Championships. And all Janey can think in that moment is, oh, but Kev already paid for a tent. And obviously, talk about kicking someone when they're down.
Yeah.
You know? And Janey's just absolutely no support. Where does Billy even go from here?
I think by this point I've lost hope. Not only hope, but I've lost the will for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem pretty much at rock bottom, and I think they'll be better off without each other.
Yeah. It does feel like rock bottom.
It does.
I can't see them coming back from this. And, you know, Billy's not going to get much lower at this point. And perhaps the only thing that could make him feel worse was if he found out about the affair.
Yeah.
And we'll find out whether he does in the next episode.
Oh!
And we'll also find out what happens at the World Championships and who's going to take the title of World Champion. But first, before we go, we're going to play a little game of Rupert or Not Rupert.
Oh, yes.
And this is going to be like the last one, if you remember. It's just one quote, and I want you to tell me if it's Rupert or if it's not Rupert.
Okay.
Yeah? And if it's not Rupert, tell me who you think it is.
Okay.
Okay? So we're going back a little bit to happier times. And
Good.
Janey's talking about her resolve to settle down and try for a baby. And she says, I'm going to be a proper wife like Helen. And the person she's talking to responds, I prefer improper wives. Was it Rupert or was it not Rupert? Feels like a Rupert thing to say.
It definitely feels like a Rupert thing to say. I'm trying to think who she would talk to. Maybe it's Billy. It could be Billy.
You reckon Billy would say something like that?
Yeah, because he's cheeky. I'll go for Billy. A little bit of me thinks it's probably Rupert, but I want to go for Billy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would be correct.
Oh, yes!
It doesn't feel like a very Billy thing to say, does it?
Yeah, but they're all kind of giddy and happy, aren't they? And they're all in the heat of the moment. They've just decided they're going to get married, you know. Good on him. Oh, bring back that Billy.
And that is it for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please tell your friends. And if you're feeling particularly generous, give us a rating or leave us a review. It really does help. If you didn't enjoy it, please keep it to yourself. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Ravishing Podcast for updates and extra bits and anything else. And make sure you turn on notifications so you never miss an episode.
And if you have strong opinions, and we know you do, we'd absolutely love to hear them. Favourite characters, who you imagine when reading about them, best bits or worst bits in the book, anything you want to share really. What moments you've frustrated you so much that you've shouted at the book as well. You can message us on socials or email us at theravishingpodcast@gmail.com with all your Rutcher deliciousness. So that's all from us, and see you next time.
Bye bye.